Hello and welcome back to second semester of Red Hawk Online Academy. I am Mr. Most Emery and I am your student, or I am your ROA teacher, homeroom teacher. As with the first semester, please, if you have questions or concerns, communicate those with me first, and then if I can't answer the question or it wasn't a question or something I can help with, I will make sure you get in touch with those who can. But all communications should start with me. Even though your courses might say a different teacher's name, I am the one. I am the one that you need to start with. I want to take a moment here and just talk a little bit about some expectations, what's coming up here in the second semester, and how we're moving forward with a number of things for the Red Hawk Online Academy for our homeroom. So some general things first. SRT, you have been enrolled. If you are a freshman, you don't have a lot of experience with SRT, but if you're a sophomore, a junior, a senior, you are actually enrolled back into your SRT. And so it is the expectation that you are going to actually join in with your SRT on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, there is SRT. You will need to make sure you're looking for communication from your SRT teacher with the Zoom links, with the times. I don't have those in front of me at the moment, but you do have an SRT now that you are responsible for attending through Zoom. Again, as freshmen, you may not be as familiar with SRT. It's a study resource time. It's a homeroom. When you are here at Goshen High School, it will be your homeroom. It's a time where you get work done, you make up work, you go to different resource rooms and you get help. So that will be an opportunity for you to do that. It's another way for you as a virtual student to make connections so that next year, when you come back, you have some connections there already made here at Goshen High School. So that is something that is different. It's a fairly significant change, but that is required attendance for you to be checking in with your SRT teacher throughout the rest of this year. So make sure you're looking out for communication from them. If you have questions or you need help getting in contact with your SRT teacher, please let me know and I can assist you in doing that. The main point of this video is talking about some changes for those that were with me last semester in Red Hawk Online Academy, some things that are going to be a little different and some expectations going forward here in general. These slides that you're seeing right now, they are on the Canvas page. The Canvas page it's a second semester Canvas page. So it's going to look very similar to the first semester Canvas page, but you will want to make sure that you are getting into the correct Canvas page now for Red Hawk Online Academy. It should say Semester 2 in the course description. So make sure you're there, and then my page, our home page, is set up the same way it was last time, and you'll be able to find these slides and this information in writing as well there. So second semester expectations. There's a lot here, so feel free to pause the video and read through these or do what you need to, but I'm going to go through each of these a bit here, and just again talking about some of the changes that we're working on and some of the reasons why. So one of the big things is for you and more your students, or you as a student, please make sure you're checking email daily, if not multiple times a day. I don't necessarily communicate with you every single day through email, but you need to be looking out for communications regularly throughout a given day and throughout the week. And please, if I ask for a response, please take a moment and respond to those emails. I am your communication through your education, so you need to make sure that you are touching base with me when I reach out to you, or vice versa. I know I will give you a reasonable amount of time to respond, but I do need you to respond to emails, as that is a huge way of communication, and that's also at Goshen High School. When you're here at Goshen High School in person, email is a must. You have to make sure you're working on checking email regularly. I will send a lot of mass communication. So when I want to send everyone the same message, I will do that through Parent Square. For the most part, you should just be getting emails. As a parent, if you have signed up through Parent Square for text messaging or through the app. There is a Parent Square app. You can get messages that way, but it should just come through your email that you have linked here with Goshen High School as well. So it'll be from Parent Square. It might look different in terms of the title or the heading, but you will get an email still, or should get an email still, unless you've changed that notification. All right, so one of the major changes for you as students and for you as parents to know what I'm expecting here for this semester is we are going to, or I'm going to require mandatory work sessions on Zoom. And those will take place on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So 4 days a week. 4 days a week, I'm expecting you to be on Zoom from 1 to 2 o'clock. Attendance will be taken. During that time, so here's a couple reasons why I'm requiring, requiring mandatory work sessions. These will mainly be time for your student to work, or for you as a student to work. I'm not going to fill this time with a lot of extra things. This will be time for you to work. It'll be a time that you can quickly and easily get help or ask for something to be unlocked if you need something reset. It is simply a time to sit down and from 1 to 2 on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, you are sitting down and you are doing work in Apex. Making progress, taking quizzes, working on study guides, that kind of thing. This is a time that I will then use to potentially, put you in small groups or meet with you individually or talk a little bit about some things as a whole group. But for the most part, this time is to work. That's the goal. This is a time that I will also try to connect you guys as students with other students who are also working on similar courses. It's a way to hopefully make some connections and for you to see that there are other students in your position having to work through some of the same things. Sometimes just seeing that, okay, yeah, there are other people doing this can hopefully be a little bit of motivation to keep you progressing forward. So those are some of the big things. Another of the main reasons I want to create a little bit more structure for this semester is just that, the structure. Especially leading into next school year. So thinking a little bit more in advanced and thinking a little bit on the positive side, hopefully, next year being more or less a normal school year. That structure is going to be important for you to be used to and have in your kind of daily routine going forward. So that structure there being at 1 o'clock, we're on Zoom, we're working. At 2 o'clock, you can stick around. I will have office hours then after that, if you want to stick around and get some extra help. So those are the main reasons for that. But again, mandatory work session, 4 days a week, 1 hour. And again, attendance will be taken. Wednesdays, I will have office hours in the afternoon. Because again, I teach half the time in-person classes. So my mornings are usually filled. It's the afternoons that are ROA or Red Hawk Online focused. As some of you found out in first semester, the amount of time that you spend on Apex, it's going to vary from one class to the next or one course to the next, and from one person to the next. But in general, for the people that were successful, were working every day, and they were spending a good chunk of time every day. So I am going to put a target forth for you and say that you should be aiming to spend at least 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday, on Apex, making progress. So that 1 hour, one of those hours would come from our work session. So that means 2 other hours in a day you would need to find and basically set a schedule for yourself and say, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to spend an hour here and another hour here. And then we've got our work session and there's my 3 hours. That's kind of your minimum target. And that sounds like a lot, but think about school, right? In a normal school day, that's actually only 2 periods on a regular block day for those that are familiar with our block schedule. So that's 2 periods worth of school that you're attempting to complete in a day. Okay, so that's like you're doing half days. Okay, so think about that, right? Make that connection, right? You do need to spend considerable time each day making progress. The mandatory Zoom sessions will not be enough, right? Obviously not enough to hit this 3 hours of work, but in general, that the 1 hour work session is not enough to make adequate progress to keep you on track. You have to be spending time every day and on your own as well, making progress. Okay. Some suggestions we'll talk about here in a second, but set a schedule, right? We talked about this early on last semester. Set a schedule for yourself. Say from 9:30 to 11, I'm working on this course, and my goal is to get 2 quizzes done. You have to start taking those steps and setting a schedule to make progress. Okay. Here are some of the strategies we talked about again in the first semester. Scheduling work times and break times, setting a timer and keep working until it goes off. And, your cell phones, they have timers, right? Cell phones aren't the best to have just sitting by your side, but they do have a timer. So set the timer, throw it in a different room, and wait until it goes off until you go get it. There are some apps that you can use to help you focus. I'm not familiar with a lot of these, but they might be things that you might want to investigate a little bit to help you with focusing, setting goals, right? So we've worked a bit on setting goals. You can break it down to small goals, saying for this work session, I want to write 1 paragraph before I take a break. Or this work session, I want to finish 2 quizzes before I take a break. Making a checklist, right? Making a checklist for the things that you want to get done in a given day or a given week. Thinking about working on hardest things first or easiest things first. Putting your phone in a different room. Putting your phone away from you, out of reach, out of mind, out of sight, out of mind, is probably one of the most helpful things that you can do for yourself. Okay. And then at all times, trying to find a quiet space and using headphones to block out noise if possible or if needed. Okay, so those are just different options that we talked about before, just reminding you of some of those. Big thing, right? So for the mandatory work sessions on Zoom, communication. If you can't make a meeting on a given day, communicate that with me. Send me an email beforehand. Communication is key. All right. So make sure you are communicating with me as needed. All right. Next couple things regarding some of the changes. This isn't really a change, but it's set up a little differently. So my plan is to still enroll you as a student in all of your courses in Apex. So in Apex, you will see all of your courses for second semester listed eventually. That takes quite a bit of time on my end. So what I'm doing is this. Everyone, I believe everyone at this point, I'll need to go and double check. Everyone at this point should have at least 1 course, whether it's from second semester or you have leftover coursework from first semester. Everyone should have at least 1 or 2 courses that they have that they can be working on. But what I want you to look at is one of those courses has due dates set from January 6th to January 27th. So that's the course I want you to focus on right now. Okay, most of you, I tried to assign a course that is not a super long one. I'm not saying it's necessarily easy, but the coursework is probably a little more straightforward. So things like psychology, intro to business, economics, those types of classes, some of the more elective type classes, those are the courses that I tried to set for your 3-week class. So this is kind of like a 3-week focus on 1 class should be your main focus. I know a lot of you have other classes that I've added as well. So feel free, you can work on those, but your main focus is that 1 class that has the due dates from January 6th to January 27th. Okay. For most of your classes, I've unlocked the first unit. So when you get done with that first unit, let me know and I will unlock the next unit. Okay. And that way you can, I can kind of keep an idea of where you're at in the unit as well. And that also just provides me some communication with you here and there. Okay, so again, for those that are getting into Apex, look for the course that has due dates that are assigned from January 6th to January 27th. That is how I will monitor progress for your coursework. okay? So make sure you're really paying attention to the courses and the due dates. Some of you, I have multiple courses assigned already or enrolled, and so you will see other courses that have due dates starting on January 25th to March 1st. So that's the next kind of window. And during this window, you will be working on completing 2 courses. So you'll complete 1 course here in the first 3 weeks, and then here you'll complete 2 courses, 2 courses, 2 courses. So that way you get a total of your 7 courses done spread out throughout the semester. Okay. So again, you will see all of your courses enrolled here eventually, but you're going to break it into 2 courses at a time, roughly. I know some of you can handle more than that, and we can work on that individually. If you want to work on more than 1 or 2 at a time, we can talk about it. But this is the general breakdown of what we're going with to get things going here. So all of you should have a course to be working on for these next few weeks here, and we'll talk more about this as the time goes on. But you can get started on that and take off running right now. You can get started and make sure you're working already. As a last reminder here, study guides. So for all courses, we can print a study guide for you. I know some of you took advantage of that and asked for study guides for all of your courses. So if you want a physical copy of a study guide, so again, my recommendation would be especially for the math courses. Most of your math courses I set to have start in that second or that first 5-week window, so the yellow window here. So most of your courses aren't math courses right away, but when you do get to your math course, I would highly recommend that you request a physical copy of the study guide to help you work through. The electronic copies of the study guide, remember I do have a tutorial video on how to do that on the Canvas page, and I'll show that here briefly. That's okay, but for math classes, it just doesn't work as well. Like for English, writing classes, things that you take notes, that's just a lot of writing. Typing out those types of things would be easy. Okay. So let me real quick show a couple things on our Canvas page. Just to highlight, this might look a little different. It will likely look a little different over time. But from last semester, it looks fairly similar. Here's the Zoom link meeting. Anytime you have a meeting, here it is right at the top. Here are the slides that I was just using. You can always scroll through those and see that information again. Contact info. Again, I respond pretty quick to text, and this is my Google Voice phone number. So that's not my technical phone number, but I get those messages through this phone number. So text. You can always text or email. If you would like a quiz or something reset, please always include the course name, the unit, and the quiz number. That saves me a lot of time. Otherwise, I will just ask you for that information, and then it'll take longer for me to reset it. Okay, so make sure, please, make sure you're including this information. Course links. Here's the Zoom link meeting again. Video tutorials. So here's some tutorials on some of the basic things that most of you who have been with me the whole first semester, you guys are already familiar with this stuff. But how to create an electronic editable copy of a study guide. So this right here, this tutorial would be a good one if you are looking to do a study guide electronically, and then some other just basic tutorials. Okay. We do have a person who can help with coursework, and that is Miss Chester. She has a Zoom link meeting. She would like you to email her first. So if it's something like in the morning, I'm not as available in the morning, so that would be something that you could email and get help from her as well. Okay, there will be more information as the semester begins here, but I wanted to cover those basics and those basic changes that are going to be happening or occurring here. So at this time, I know this was kind of a long video, so I apologize for that. Again, feel free to reach out with questions, concerns as you have them. But starting your student and you will hear this again in our first Zoom session on Friday, which is tomorrow, January 8th at 1 o'clock. But I will see them tomorrow, Friday, January 8th at 1 o'clock, and we will be covering a lot of the same information and just making sure that they're on board with what's going down. So reach out with questions. Otherwise, have a good one. Take care. Stay safe, and see you later.